How's everybody doing today?
Hey guys, I just want to say this. I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving, and the stomach bug is going around, and I have it. So keep me in prayers, and hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving, and I hope a lot of people has the stomach bug. So and and I'm not at school today because I don't want to give other people it. So keep me in your prayers, and if any of your kids have it, I'll keep them in prayer. So see y'all.
Is that all you want to say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gabe has the stomach virus, so we've been dealing with that, but God is good, and we're just declaring healing and cleansing over this home. Um, and so I couldn't have my virtual background on because it wouldn't let me and Gabe both come in there. So let me change that. No, much better. um, so just kind of wanted to jump on here today to give a couple announcements to you guys, and share something with you that really thought provoked me and gave me something to chew on spiritually. So let me get a few announcements out of the way first. So you know how I said like the shoe boxes, like if you have shoe boxes, bring those into the church, like we got to turn them in. Well, there wasn't any shoe boxes. I'm big mess up on my end. I don't know. We were gone that weekend and I don't know what I was thinking. That's when we were in Tennessee, I think. Shoe boxes, we've done missed that deadline, but we still have the shoe boxes because I got the shoe boxes from John's church. But we've missed that. And so the shoe boxes were still in Connie's truck, and I thought they were in the church. They weren't. So we still have shoe boxes, but we're just going to do something else with them locally. So I will have the shoe boxes put out in the foyer this Thursday at church. And so what we've decided to do is just distribute them locally. Now there's only like I think we were only able to get like 10 or 15 shoe boxes. I don't even know if we have that many. And so there's way more of us than that. And so you don't even have to use this just a specific shoebox that we have. If you want to grab one of those, you can, or you can go to the Dollar Tree and get those boxes that are like the same size as a shoebox. You could do a large Ziploc baggie full of stuff, however you want to do it, because those shoe boxes that we have won't work. I mean, that's not going to be enough for all of us. And I hope that we can all engage in this, and I hope that we can all take part in this because as much as we have fun, we have parties, we have conferences, we did all the things all year. We have to be servants. We need to be givers. Jesus empowering women, equipped, loving, and serving. And so we did a lot of other things this year. So now we need to put our community service behind this and do something this holiday season for someone else. This isn't anything that has to do necessarily with our church. This is our Jules group that is doing this. And so that's us ladies. That's us saying, we are going to give this season. We want to give back. We want to bless somebody because we have been so blessed. And so, again, if you're going to be at church tomorrow night, grab your shoe boxes, or if you just want to do like a large Ziploc baggie size, a basket, they don't care what you put it in. So just bring those in, get those together as quick as we can, and get them as soon as you get your basket made up. Bring that back to the church. I would like to say we need to have this shored up by let's see. So some people, if you're not there on Thursday, you may be there on Sunday. That's the third. So we need to try to wrap this up by Sunday, December the 10th. Sunday, December the 10th, have your outreach brought in to the church, and anybody who wants to go with me to distribute these, I would absolutely love that. So who are we going to give them to now that we've missed um, the sending off the shoe boxes that we originally planned? So we had some ideas come in to just do some things locally and to reach out to some places in Maysville that we have not gave to before. We did blessing boxes. I know we did the Rivers Outreach, and some of us still do and give and are a part of that. And our church, I believe supports them as well. And so we wanted to kind of reach some other places this time. So we're going to do Hospice of Hope. Amanda has some connection and she's got some information for us on that. And then the Women's Crisis Center was another one. And so Amanda has said for hospice, so you can pick if you want to do a box or box for hospice or if you want to do it for the Women's Crisis Center. And so if you want to do it for hospice, if you want to make a box out there, they said all they need is individually wrapped snack cakes, chips, or juices that are singles, water or pop in cans. So those are the things that hospice needs. And so if you want to do that, you'll put those types of things in a box or a bag or however you want to do that. And then if you want to make your box for the Women's Crisis Center, you can make it for a woman or a child. And so the women, they can pretty much have anything in them. Obviously, they were like, don't put anything, that's obvious in there, but slippers, socks, snacks, lotions, nail polish. They said that they are currently out of razors and nail clippers, and those are things that go quickly. And if you're, on a budget this holiday season, I totally get that. Dollar Tree has all kinds of goodies, even though they've, it's $1.50 or 25, whatever it is now, but you can get a lot of things there. And then if you want to do a child, do not do any type of toy weapons, no Nerf guns, no toy guns, no nunchucks, no plastic knives, no wrestler figures of any kinds, or no army men. And so those are the stipulations for the box on children. But coloring books, snacks, socks, any kind of toys and you can do it for whatever age that you want to. And then they said right now they have all little girly girls down there. And so if you want to do a girly girl box, they love all the sparkles, the nail polish, the princess stuff, Barbies, baby dolls, all this kinds of stuff. So if you want to make a box for a little girl, you can do that as well. So you can pick from hospice or Women's Crisis Center, a box for a woman, a little boy or little girl. And so you just pray about that and see which way that you want to go on that. That was way too much to put in a text. And so here's the information on the video. Replay it if you need to. If you have questions about hospice, message Amanda. If you have questions about the crisis center, you can message me. And so again, let's have these boxes shored up by Sunday, December the 10th. And we will take those down sometime that week. And again, if you want to go and distribute those, let me know. We'll need help, I'm sure, doing that. All right, so we're all good on that. Our Jules Christmas party is coming up next Tuesday, the 5th, here at my house. And I'm so excited to host you guys. You don't have to bring anything. This is my treat for you guys just to come and have a night of fun and fellowship. And we'll do our annual ornament exchange. Bring a nice ornament. You can get a nice ornament at Hobby Lobby or wherever you shop for ornaments. That's just like Hobby Lobby just seems to go to right now. And all their Christmas is 50% off, even better. I got my ornament yesterday. So some ornament for exchange. I'm going to have appetizers. We'll have a hot chocolate bar, coffee, dessert. We'll have some kind of dessert table. So I'm looking forward to a good time with you ladies here at my house. If you are bringing a child or a kid, please let me or Carolyn know, because we want the kids, since our kids group has also grown, we want them to do their own little gift exchange too. And so I think they're going to go to Chucky's and maybe have their little thing in the basement, because we've got, we'll all be up here, and Chucky's got more room up there in the basement for the kids. So we're hoping he'll do that. And of course, the men will also be having their Christmas party as well. So ladies, we know how the men are. So I don't know what Chucky's food situation is. I don't know what anything that they're doing. You'll have to have your significant other to get with Chucky, but then y'all can all come on the ridge. One's going one side of the road, one's going the other. It's going to be a good time to kick off December. So we've got that going on the 5th. Then on the 9th, they're having the flag and dance workshop from 11 to 1. And then after the flag and dance workshop, we're going to leave the church at 2 p.m. and go to the Ark for Christmas time at the Ark. We went a couple years ago. And so it's kind of a free thing for the most part. This doesn't allow you to go in the actual Ark. That's at an extra fee, or you have to get a ticket for that. But they have lights outside you can walk around and do. There's a petting zoo, I believe. They're having camel rides. I think those are like $10 if you wanted to ride a camel. There's a show that's going to be on in their theater. It says online at 5. It starts at 5 or 5:30, I believe. Some kind of musical. They have like a little snack and coffee area, food. They have a gift shop, and there's some other things online that you can walk around and do that are included in the price for like the van load or whatever. So if you want to go to that, let us know so we'll know how many we have going. We went, like I said, we went a few years ago, and I liked it. Then of course our Christmas programs on the 17th, and we kids will be gearing up for that. And so if you have a song, a poem, something you want to do to be a part of that, please let us know. Don't feel like, that it's you can't have a part in that if just because you don't sing on the praise team, but you have a song you want to sing, let us know. We want to work you in. We want to incorporate our body. If you have a sharing or a poem or a piece or something you want to say, please let us know. We would love for you to do that. And so I think that's all of the announcements. I know that's a lot, but it's much easier than saying it on here than a text. And all of our calendars are going to get really full. It's a really hustly and bustly season. So I wanted to make sure that we have all this down, write this down, put it on your phone, put it on your calendar so you will know ahead of time, this is what's going on at church this month. And so if I've missed anything, I'm sorry, we'll catch that on Thursday. And then Thursday at church, I'll probably be preaching Thursday night. And so we'll see what God has in store Thursday night. It'll probably be Chad on Sunday morning, probably me again Sunday night, or we may just shake it up and do something different Sunday night. Who knows? We just let God do his thing. And so really quickly, I know I've spent a lot of time on announcements to get that out there for you guys, but this is what last night I was chewing on. And sometimes I can't get past one scripture. Like there's no sense in reading and reading and reading and reading if I'm stuck on one scripture and I'm just meditating in that and chewing on that. And so I was reading in First Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 7. And this is where it got me. And it said, "For God did not call us to uncleanliness, but in holiness." Now, if we go back up to starting in chapter 4 of First Thessalonians, it's a call for pure, a plea to purity. And so we're to live a pure and holy lifestyle that ties back in with communion, that ties back in with dwelling, that ties back in with consistency, that ties in with being the same in season and out of season, that ties in with walking out who that we say we are, because he didn't call me to be unclean. He didn't call me to be bound by the filth and the sin of this world. He called me to walk holy. Now, does that mean I'm perfect? No. Does that mean I'm going to mess up? Yes. But what it does mean is that I know that when I've stepped out of that, I'm aware that that's filthy, that's not clean, that I need to walk back in holiness. And so verse 3, if we back on up, it just talks about, "For this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you should abstain from sexual immorality, that each of you should know how to possess his own vessel." Well, what's the vessel? This is the vessel. I'm the vessel. And so I am in control of how I respond to things. God is ultimately in control, but I'm responsible for how I control my actions and how I respond with this vessel, with him being my leader and my driver. So it says how to possess his own vessel in sanctification and honor. I'm to honor my body and my spirit, and honor the things and what God has called me to do and how I should live and respond. And it says, not in passion of lust, like the Gentiles who do not know God. So not in passion of lust. Obviously, he was just talking about sexual immorality and things. And we know what, lust and not to chase those things of the opposite sex. But also, I think this could go a lot of ways. Not in passion of lust of our flesh. And so that could go a lot of different ways, not just speaking sexually, but, I don't always we should never be pursuing the passion of what our flesh wants. Our flesh wants to run our mouth. Our flesh wants to hold grudges. Our flesh wants us to stay bound in our emotions. Our flesh wants us to have odd against the woman across the room. Our flesh wants us to walk in a spirit of offense about everything. Our flesh wants wants us to be bound to something that you were delivered from years ago, months ago, weeks ago. Your flesh wants you to stay at home on Sundays rather than going to church when there's no good reason, just because you don't feel like going today. Your flesh will want you to walk away that God is not calling you to. It's going to pull you towards that uncleanliness, not walking in holiness, because there's always a battle between our spirit and our flesh. I don't care who you are, if you're the pastor, if you're the best pastor in the world, if you're the most anointed singer you've ever seen, there's still a war with everybody. But the thing is, those that walk in communion, those that walk in dwelling in who he is and walk in holiness, know how to overcome the uncleanliness. They know how to let their spirit man be in charge, and they don't let their fleshly man make decisions that are based upon the passion of their lust of their flesh. Okay, there's a lot of things that that you may say, oh, this is what I want to do. What always that we want to do is not always right for us. Not is it always good for us. It may not even be sinful, but let's just be honest. Like, you may want to drink pop all day long, but realistically, you don't need to. Like, you need to at least drink one water a day. I mean, come on now. That's my rule. I got to have my coffee and I might have a pop, but I know I need to drink some water during the day because my body needs that water. It's not good for my body to consume pop and coffee 24 hours a day, right? Trust me, I'm not getting on no health kick. Definitely not doing that, but this is just an example. What do I want to eat sweets all the time? Of course, but I have to have a boundary with that, because just because that's what my flesh wants and that's what I love, I can't just eat sweets all day long. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so some things that aren't even sinful, we need to have control over our flesh. There are some times that you just need to say, no, you're not in control today, flesh. Belly, you're not in control. My spirit man does have control over my body. I will have some self-control in my lifestyle. The same thing for spending money. I may want to shop 24/7, but is that being a good steward of my money? Can my household afford that? No. And so you just don't do everything that your flesh wants you to do. And part of that is walking in holiness and stewarding what we have. And so not pursuing the passion of our lust, the passion of our flesh all the time. There are times you may want to walk up and say something to someone. You may want to straighten them out because that's a passion that your flesh has. But let me tell you, that's not going to do any good. Listen, you need to pray first. Our pastor would say that for years, and I thought it was the craziest thing ever. Like, let's just say it. Let's just tell it how it is. And there are times, to be honest, but not every single time, to walk and straighten someone out right there in the moment. Because if I feel like they need to be straightened out in that moment, I probably need to be straightened out. And so sometimes we just have to stop and pray before we open our mouth and say something that we shouldn't, act in a way that we shouldn't. Do you see what I'm saying? And y'all know I've said this before. I'm a person, like, if there's a disagreement, if there's an argument, let's talk it out, let's fight it out, let's get it out there. But it would have been wise for me in some situations to just take a minute, go pray for a little bit, calm down, get your head together, and then talk about it. Because sometimes when things are in the heat of the moment and we want to pursue our flesh, we regret things we've said. Now, don't get me wrong. We've got to talk things out. You can't let things boil up, but just go pray for 5 minutes, go pray for a minute before you begin to open your mouth and pursue your flesh. You understand what I'm saying? And so talk things out, get it out. Don't mishear me there. There's got to be communication, but it's about the approach. It's about the heart. It's about how we treat others. It's about how we do that and pursue it. Pray first. Let the Lord give you wisdom on how to handle the situation. And so let me give you, and so what does unclean mean? Unclean means dirty, right? It means dirty. And so you can look at, I don't have time to go into this, but you can look at the works of the flesh in Galatians 5, and that talks about things that are work of the flesh, things that are dirty, things that are sinful, things that the Lord does not want us to be operating in or doing. And so You can look at those later, but we are to be spotless. Listen, there's a wedding coming. He's looking for his bride. And listen, when you and I got married, we didn't walk down the aisle in a dirty dress, a stained filled dress. Okay. It was white. It had been in a zipper sack. It had been pressed. It had been to the very best. It was not even to be besides one time you didn't put it back on, you left it alone because it was preserved for a special occasion, that wedding day. And so if we want our own weddings to be so perfect and so white, and the dress to be so perfect and look without spot or blemish on our physical wedding days, what are we thinking walking in uncleanliness? When the day of the Lord comes, we should not have spot or blemish on us, constantly repenting and being sure that we are keeping ourselves clean and turning from an uncleanliness way and walking in holiness. And so First Peter 1:19 says, let me give you a couple more scriptures here. First Peter 1:19 says, but with the precious blood of Christ, as a lamb without blemish and without spot. He was indeed foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifested in these last times for you. Believe in God, who raised him from the dead and gave him glory, so that your faith and hope are in God. A lamb without blemish or spot. There is nothing more cuter than a little white lamb, right? But have you ever seen a dirty lamb? I used to show lambs. When they get dirty and nasty, oh, there's nothing like a little lamb that is white as snow. And Ephesians 5, verses 25 through 27 says, or verses 27, I'm sorry, it says that he might present her to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but she should be holy, without blemish. And so, in a few scriptures up, he's talking about husbands, love your wives, and just as Christ loved the church and all that, and we know that, but there's more than one meaning in depth to the word. And so, talking about how we as a bride of Christ are also going to present ourselves to him one of these days, and we should present ourselves to him wholly, without blemish. Trust me, we know where the blemishes are, and if you can't see any blemishes in yourself, you need to find the prayer closet, because we all have them, because we have not arrived yet. We have to be a work in progress and working on it. Listen, we're always washing clothes, right? It's always a work in progress. So there are things you got to keep washing out. You got to keep cleaning. You got to keep scrubbing. And sometimes things take a little more elbow grease than others. So you've got to do a little bit more diligence to get that spot out of you. You don't want that blemish to be there on the day that he comes back. So ladies, just chew on that today. That just stirred me, that one verse. I didn't even have to read chapters and chapters. I just had to stop right there, because I had to examine myself and think about what am I walking in? I always want to walk in that. He didn't call me to uncleanliness. He didn't call me to sin, but he called me to holiness. And I have to do my due diligence to walk that out every single day and try my very best to overcome the lust of my flesh. All right. And so you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Oh, Gabe wants to say something else.
I just
Gotta lean over here, Gabe.
I just wanted to say, bye everyone. I hope you all have a day, and I wish you all had a good Thanksgiving. So see you all